I just wanted to point out a few things. First of all, when a contractor leaves a job, you would think that they would take their garbage away instead of just throwing it in holes and on the ground. Secondly, posts that are in the ground, these posts were all, the dirt was all shoved in already, and what happens is the posts rot at ground level, so filling the hole with cement to sometimes a foot below ground level doesn't prevent the posts from rotting. Even posts that are pressure treated will rot a lot quicker because that's where they rot, right at ground level. So I'm really not happy with this job, and I've now dug out all the post holes and I'll clean out the rest of the dirt in order to make the posts ready for putting sonotube around them and bringing the cement level up high enough that the water can be drained away from the post and they'll last at least twice as long, maybe longer than that. Another thing that happened was the contractor built a deck, but the subcontractor that he was using had the same sort of shoddy workmanship. So I had the contractor put in additional rises with sonotube to bring the level of the concrete up above. I went and I dug out and vacuumed and cleaned off the cement so that he could do that and fix the new concrete to the old concrete. What I didn't know, because this was all buried until it was exposed now with the excavation, was that the original subcontractor had actually filled in part of the hole that had been dug with dirt, just threw dirt down there and then put concrete on top of it. The problem is that the concrete literally just breaks apart. It's no more than just throwing gravel down there. They charge for concrete, but it's ridiculous. And this hole here, you can see the bottom of it, didn't go down 4 feet anyway. Why bother? We could have just had a floating deck and it would have been better. Now what's happening is we got the frost heaves can move it up, and there's loose dirt underneath so it can settle down, and it's just crazy. But that would have to be entirely torn out and rebuilt from the foundation up in order to fix it. So I don't even know what to do. But that's just the deck. So this is what the work site looks like now that the contractor has abandoned us. And I discovered that the pins that were supposed to go 8 inches into the foundation through the piers was actually only put 3 inches into the old cement. And obviously what happened was this chunk here just fell off and exposed that the contractor had only put the rebar only a couple inches into the foundation, the old foundation, unlike what the engineer specification does a full 8 inches in. And there was obviously no epoxy put in there to they epoxied the outside, so it looked like there was epoxy going in, but there's no epoxy going into the other foundation. So obviously violation there, and we would never have known if this piece of concrete hadn't fallen off, and then I was in the process of supporting those floor joists to make sure that they wouldn't sag. The floor had dropped 2 inches before I got in here, so it was literally the floorboards were holding the joists up rather than the joists holding the floorboards up. So I put in jacks and a beam and jacked that up and supported those, and the floor is all fine now in the old existing house. But we still have to finish putting in the piers and posts for the foundation. The contractor now abandoning the worksite and leaving us totally in the lurch with really almost impossible to find contractors here because there's so much construction going on. So this guy took $52,200 of our money as a down payment for this project, and I don't know if we'll ever see any of that. He hasn't put more than $5,000 into this, so we're really out and hurting. Anyway, we have solid bedrock at exactly the right level for the bottom to be able to put the gravel on and the weaving tile and everything. So it's very fortuitous that way. The hole is all dug, but it's my understanding there's supposed to be now I understand there's supposed to be a step back when you have 8-foot high walls like this, so that the people putting in the forms aren't in danger of getting things falling on them. And anyway, the forms started to get laid out. The property is all pinned. I got the pins in place. And but then the contractor's gone, just abandoned the work site. We're trying to find a reputable contractor, but heck, we tried to find one before and we got this, so we're really at a loss to know what to do. All the permits are paid for and approvals done and inspections done and everything's good. We just need somebody to work and complete this correctly and quickly. Yes, that's another thing. The safety violations. There's no railing up on that deck to keep people from just dropping into the hole. And the fencing that was put around not only isn't stood up properly, but there's sections like over there and over behind this pile here where, and obviously over here as well, where people can just drop into the hole, where there's no fencing at all. The site is not secure. I'll have to take care of that as well as a bunch of other things. So I pretty much just have to continue on my own, just doing what I can, because I have no other alternative. Now we come to the backyard, which used to be beautiful, and we knew that it would get tore up, and we had to raise the level of it because the whole yard turned into a lake. When we were the lowest in the whole neighborhood. That's my sun oven.